Okay, so we, in the last couple days, have had some adventures. We went to Glikanera, which is the Sweetwater Beach on the south side of Crete near Sfakia. We had to drive through Imbros Gorge to get there. We had to climb down a pretty crazy cliff face. We then went to the ruins of Knossos yesterday. And then we went to Psychro Cave up in the Dicta Mountains and climbed down in there and checked that out. And so, let's talk a little bit about those adventures. And what do we think? What did you guys think of those? Let's start with, so the drive down to the south side, we went through the gorge. What did you think of the gorge?
It was really cool. It was awesome. It was big. Really pretty view. We had fresh orange juice there, and he had coffee, and I don't remember the name of what it was called. It was
a Sfakia pie. It's a regional fried pie thing that they do. It had spinach and fennel in it. For mine, it was delicious. Really, really good. Something you get from this region, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I feel like we're very dark in this.
I think so too.
Trying to, I think it's certain we want to film the background and not us. And there, I think that's a bit better.
Yeah, it was really pretty. There were a lot of really nice views. There were a couple cute little places that had really great views of like the beach in the background, like the water, and then like the gorge, and it was really cool. And there were a lot of goats. That was really nice.
There were goats on the tables.
Yes.
At the restaurant we stopped in. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was the highlight, for real.
There were, a few places to like pull over and take pictures with everything in the background. It's really cool.
Yeah, so the gorge was neat. It was a neat drive. I really liked the drive. I thought that was cool. Unbelievable amount of switchbacks to get down to Sfakia. That was a bit a bit of something. Sfakia was cool, cute little town. Mm-hmm. We had lunch. That was good. And we made the judgment call the night before based on reading online that it was going to make sense not to take a boat because everything we could find said the boats were 30 euros for up to 4 people, and whether you're one person or 4 it was going to be 30. There was no information in Sfakia that made it obvious that there was any other options, and the hike down is supposed to be hard but not super hard, right? It was supposed to be relatively short, about 200 meters, and not for casual walkers, but it's a European hiking trail. It wasn't supposed to be that terrible. So we decided to drive up, and you could go to you just park on the edge of a switchback, and you're able to walk down this trail, which was supposed to take somewhere around 30 minutes. In reality, it took between an hour and a half. The trail was a bit more intense than we were led to believe, and the entire thing, and this we knew, but the entire thing is exposed. It's a desert cliffside, so you're in the sun the entire way, and you get pretty warm, and then you end up on the far side of the beach from where you want to be, so you even have a good 5 to 10 minutes walk across the beach to get to where you want to be. So that hike was a bit exciting for you guys.
Yeah. It was pretty. The water was really pretty. It was very, like, all kinds of shades of blue. That was really cool. But the path was a lot more intense than we were led to believe. There were no pictures anywhere of what the path actually looked like. And I'm convinced that that's because it wasn't an actual path. It was just some people decided to climb down the side of a mountain, and they left little piles of rocks because they were like, this is the least dangerous way to go, but it wasn't exactly a path. Definitely not something you should do in sandals like we did.
Yeah, we were both in sandals. We had awesome views though the entire time, so that was awesome, but
I only slipped once. I was the only one that fell. Well, I slipped a couple times. I was the only one that actually fell.
I slipped several times because the rocks were super slippery, but
yeah. So
quite the adventure.
I'm not sure I would recommend taking the walk to too many people. If you're an experienced hiker, I don't think it's really that bad, but it's longer than you think, it's hotter than you think, and it does require scrambling. Like, you have to get down, use your hands. There's spots where you can't just take a step. You have to, like, swing around and do some stuff. It's not really dangerous, right? It's on a cliffside, And there, I mean, and I've seen this advice, don't do this if you're drunk. Don't do it if you get vertigo. Like, there's some warnings like that. But as long as you're not just plunging over the side, you're pretty much okay, right? Like, it's a long, hard walk. There isn't a railing, but it's also not so narrow that you're, like, poised treacherously on the edge.
You can definitely hang an arm over the side.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, but that's true almost anywhere that you could go over a side if you decided to.
Yeah. Have to have good footing. It was a lot of rocks. Like, it went from being like little pebbles and like dirt stone paths to like we were like rock climbing on a mountain. Yeah. The beach was not, like, nowhere in sight until you got to the beach. That was the other part. We could never tell how much farther we had left to go.